You're listening to the Michael Baisden Show podcast.
Nobody, now repeat, nobody loves being single more than I do. Welcome to the show. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for calling in on the show today. You all going to love this podcast. Dominique is single. Sort of, I don't know what's going on with her. Tanisha is definitely married. George is definitely in a relationship. Miles.
Single as a Pringle, baby. Single as a Pringle.
So I love being single because I have my own space. Mm-hmm. I love coming and going when I want. I love spending my money the way I want. And people say you're selfish. Well, yes, I probably am, which is why I decided to be single. I don't want to have to consider other people right now in my life. I want to be able to move without worrying about whether or not her job is going to move her, whether or not the child is going to be able to find a school. You have to be honest about whether or not you want to be in a relationship. And if it doesn't fit into what a relationship conventionally is, then stay single. And that's why I'm single. Dominique, what's your story?
Absolutely. And I think for women, I know for myself, the issue often comes down to career. You know, you don't want to be pressured. You don't want to be guilt tripped for putting your career first. And that's what a lot of us want to do. It's not that, you know, we don't care about you, care about our family, care about our men. We just want to be able to be guilt free in pursuing our highest good.
But she want to be able to get down when she wants to.
I'm going to need married people. And I'm
you know, single people have better sex than married people.
You know
that, don't you?
Is that a scientific study?
Yes, it is.
You don't have
I'm
dirtier
not even
sex.
sure
That's not.
Really?
We do?
You have it more frequently, maybe.
Yes, we do. Definitely. So shout out to everybody who loves being single. Thank you all for calling into the show. This was a great podcast. So off the air, George is like, Mike, you just don't want to be in a relationship. That's not it, G-Dub. It's not it. I love guys like you being married, happily married. My brother's happily married. A lot of friends are happily married. They're happy, dude. But here's my thing. Can we just be honest?
You're happily single.
I'm happily single. I don't want the responsibility sometime of being in a relationship.
Now, there you go. Now, that is as honest as it gets, and that's what a lot of people should be honest about. They find out even when they're in a relationship, they get tired of the responsibility that goes with being in a relationship, and you just can't go back and forth from being single to married to single to relationship. So, decide what you want to do and then stick it, stick to it.
Miles,
right?
what,
That
Miles?
makes sense.
Now, I've never been married, but I've been in relationships, right? So I know what happily single is all about.
Here we go.
Sometimes you misjudge the people as well. Sometimes they're not what they live up to be.
True that.
Sometimes they put on their Sunday best.
That's true.
Or sometimes they don't change into what you thought they was going to change.
How about
into
that
be.
on your? Now, see, that's back to expectations, something that we always talk about.
That's right.
There's nothing wrong. In fact, I think it's a very mature thing to do is say, you know what? I don't want to be in a relationship right now. I don't choose to be in a relationship right now. Just because a person is single doesn't mean they can't be in a relationship. They may choose not to be. And for a lot of guys,
Now,
let's be
many
honest.
ain't.
Hold on. A lot of guys have a lot of come on, man. George.
Many are not. Many are not happily single by choice. Many are coping with being single and hoping for and wishing for something different.
George. That's how we're going to start. That's how we're going to start the show like
I'm just saying, dude, keep it real.
We're going to roll into the show.
You happily single. Some people miserably single. Do that show.
All right, that's it.
Do miserably single.
All right, George. Danielle, talk to me. What's going on?
I love being single. I was married twice. Both didn't work out. When you're married, you have to take into account, just like my girl said, other people's needs and wants. Mm-hmm. And sometimes they're irrational. You change yourself sometimes to be what you think that person wants or what they need. You lose yourself. When you're single, especially when you've been a part of something that wasn't right, you find yourself, you find out what's happy. Yeah. You're less likely to put yourself or conform to the wants and needs of other people.
Yeah.
So
you can walk around naked and do everything you want to do, too.
You can. You don't have to tell nobody, like she said, when you got to go, I'm going there, I'm spending this, I'm doing that.
You can go in the bathroom, get in the tub, and just disappear.
Whatever. Whatever you want to do. No, I'm not, against being with someone, but if it's not coming to me the exact way I want, I'm fine with that. But you have to love yourself before you love anybody else first.
That's true. But you know what? Why does it have to be about loving yourself, any of that? Why can't it just be, I love being single without an explanation? What's wrong with you? That's the first thing men say. They find a fine woman is single. What's wrong with you? What happened? Like you need some kind of intervention because you're fine and single. Happens to Dominique all the time. I asked her when I first met him, like, you single? What's wrong with you?
You sure did.
Yeah.
That wasn't
then
nice.
we found out what was wrong with it.
That's mean, George. Felicia, talk to me. What's going on? Tell me why you love being single.
I love being single because I was in a relationship for
4 years, stood by the guy, helped him get on his feet. He had got injured. After he was able to walk again.
Hold on. Stop.
See,
Yes.
these
Stop.
people ain't happily single.
No, they're
These are
not.
single horror
Yep.
stories. These are people who are forced into single. These are people who are saying, "Hey, I tried a relationship, but I couldn't cut it.
Listen.
So I'm back into the other lane." That's only
that's what it sounds
their
like to me,
funny.
George.
No, not at all. I was widowed first.
Okay, stop.
See, you just proved
Wow.
my point again.
Okay, I don't think you all getting
These
how
are
the
things
show
that
works.
single
story?
horror
Are you-
stories.
are you-
Well,
guys just keep
Felicia,
talking.
we're talking about
Hey,
why
no,
you're
it's not
happily
a-
single. Period.
I'm happily single because I love me,
There
and
you go.
and I'm not going out and search for someone, okay? And
You don't even
have
believe
my
that.
heart. Hey, you know what? I'm not going to have my heart broken.
Okay, stop,
And-
Felicia.
She said once
She
he
can't
could
even
walk
get it
again.
out. She don't even believe it.
Okay, let me explain how this works.
These are horror stories.
You don't call in telling me you're happily single because of all the bad stuff the last dude or last woman did to you. That
Well,
means
maybe she learned the
That
lessons.
relationship-
Maybe she's learned the lessons.
That's
ain't
not
what
the
she
show.
said. The last man,
okay.
she helped the last man who couldn't walk. As soon as he walked out of
Walked
life.
right out
then she did,
let's hear
He
hear
was
more.
still
Let's hear
working
more.
on his
Let's hear-
job.
okay, he's still going. What happened,
See?
baby? Go ahead.
Still
Let it
working
out.
on
I'm trying to tell you.
Let it
I'm
out.
trying to tell you my story.
Let it
you
out.
know?
Let it out, Felicia. Go ahead.
I said my husband was killed working
Okay,
on
all
the-
right. Everybody stop. Now the husband.
every time we go to.
Okay.
Yep. I
One more
told
time.
you.
Let's try one more time.
But she happily said.
Hold on. Go ahead, Felicia.
I am. I'm very happily single.
Let's stop on that note right there. Woo! Great call. listen. Everybody listen. Y'all not taking my show south today. Give me all the bad news about the last dude, man. No, we are not dumping on Michael Bays in today. I need to hear every reason why you enjoy waking up every day being single. Not because of what somebody did, just because you enjoy being single by choice.
Maybe they're trying to tell you how they got to happy.
That's not this show.
It's just a long road.
Stop, George. Stop.
That's not what they doing.
Okay.
These are single horror stories.
Let me
These
tell
people
you-
are forced
let me-
into single life, and they're dealing with it best they can. But they really wish they was in a relationship, yes, a happy, healthy, good relationship. But that's what they really want. That's what the majority of people want.
George, I have to agree with you in terms of the people who are calling in, but I know there are many women who, listen, stop laughing. There are many women who really are enjoying their single life, but I'm starting to wonder.
Absolutely, I believe that.
I'm starting to
I
wonder
believe
based
that.
on these calls whether or not women are single by choice, but I know many who are.
But I told you that.
Hello.
Go ahead,
There's
Dominique.
one right here.
Talk to us, Dominique. It's all about
no,
you. Go
it's
ahead.
because sometimes, the ones that are calling or reaching out, maybe they're needy, but maybe they need a shoulder to cry on. But me and a lot of my girlfriends are happily single. We are not trying to rush around and look for a husband. We are happy with our autonomy. Keyword autonomy, independence. Not that we don't want company, but we don't need company.
Yeah, being happily single for me in terms of the way I saw this show working out before the last two calls.
Yeah.
Listen. It was
But
saying,
even-
hold it, George. Let me make this point so we can set this up for everybody else who's going to call in today. I'm a single man. I'm not happily single because of what some woman took me through. I'm happily
Right,
single because
right.
I choose this life because I enjoy being
get
single, period. It has nothing to do with what somebody
get
did to me. Being single should not be a reaction to something. It should be a choice. Where's Charlotte at? Charlotte, what's going on? How you doing? Talk to me about being happily single.
I'm okay today. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Talk to me.
Single because it's freedom.
Yeah.
Freedom of choice. Freedom of moving around.
Yes.
Freedom of not having to answer to anybody about what I do, how I do it, when or where. The stresses of life sometimes hold us down. So, you focus on being strong in yourself and not about somebody else.
Being single offers you a great opportunity to get into yourself, to learn yourself, to go out there and venture out and do things without having to, consider someone else. And I'm not saying that's wrong, but sometimes you just don't want that responsibility. What do you say to that?
Well, sometimes you have to focus on self because if you had a partner in the past, you have to focus on him too.
Right.
So now you just focus on you and about you and to be able to love you more than having to be worried about who loves you or don't love you.
That's right. Whew, boy, we got through that one. Thank you, Charlotte. Woo! Jesus. Well, I just said Jesus. Oh, my God.
Wow.
Oh, I said God.
Oh, my
Yep, that's his father.
The
Thank
world
you.
is going to end.
Oh,
Trey, what's up, man? We got the men calling in. Happily single men. What's going on?
I mean, I like being single for right now because I'm working on me. I'm doing me. I ain't got to worry about no woman calling me, asking me to do this, get my nails done, get my hair done. No, I ain't got time for all that. No, I'm doing me. So, but eventually, I do want to get married one day because I've never been married before. And I don't have any kids neither.
Wow.
And I'm 39 years old. So I'm doing good right now.
That's what I'm
straight.
talking about. You know, I didn't think about that, whether or not men needed a break from the expense of dating as well, because being in a relationship costs.
Man, what?
It's like another job.
Another bill.
Ooh, Miles.
Another bill.
It is another bill. Janelle, are you happily single? Talk to me.
Yes, I am happily single.
Explain what that means.
Okay, so to me it means that I'm happy with the woman I am, and I feel like a man would compliment me. So I'm happy. Like, I enjoy eating dinner by myself. I just enjoy I enjoy the person who I am.
You know, Dominique asked a question earlier in the show. She said, she asked whether or not it was easier for women and men, I guess. Dominique, I'm sure you meant it for both. Go ahead and tell you what you said, Dominique.
Is it easy to be happily single if you've already been married? You know, if you've been married once and now you're single, would we enjoy it more than if we've never been in a marriage
And tell her how you explain that, because I thought it was really interesting.
I think it's easier because we don't idealize marriage. We're not looking for that fairy tale wedding and, you know, thinking it's going to be this perfect thing. And we have, you know, and we have a chance to enjoy ourselves again. What do you say?
Well, I mean, I've been engaged for a very long time and broke that off. But I think that being a high school teacher, I feel like for my students, it's not the issue. The issue is not being domesticated, or their parents don't even talk about marriage. I think that the main issue is that their parents do not talk about marriage, where my students feel like you can shack up with somebody and that you don't have to be married.
How about
And they
that?
also feel like being married is more responsibility, being married, and more of a commitment than having a child with someone.
Sounds
So I
like
think
they see it as a burden.
The marriage is a problem.
Yeah,
It
I
is a
don't
burden.
want people to see marriage as a burden. Like I said, you don't have to be against marriage and relationships to be happily single. You just enjoy your lifestyle. You know, I don't want people to think this is a show against marriage. It's a show celebrating being single. And that's what I want you all to continue to do. Call in and tell me what you love about it. Great question, Dominique. Janelle, thank you so much for calling in. Maria, talk to us. What's going on? Talk to me about being happily single.
Well, I'm very happily single. I don't have to worry about sharing my space or, you know, anybody bugging me about, you know, what time I come in, how I'm dressed. You know, I can dress however I like.
Hold on a second. I think I know where this is going. She's a bed hog and she dressed sexy.
And the problem with
Well,
that
I mean,
is
you know,
Nothing.
hey,
Nothing.
no,
Not a thing. Not a thing,
really.
Dominique.
I mean, I do love to dress sexy. I'm guilty of that. I love sexy.
I can tell.
I'm a very passionate person.
Yep.
I like to love hard, and of course, I love myself. So, in order to share that time with someone, they really would have to be on my level, and it's just not, you know.
Hold on.
I'm not ready.
We got something. We got it. Go ahead, George.
I'm just always interested when a woman says, "I love hard." Men say it too, but not as often. You hear that? What exactly does that mean to love hard?
Meaning that
No, you hold on. We coming back for part 2 for that love hard.
Because I think I have a perception of what loving hard is.
we're going to have to find out what
Yeah,
that is.
we got to also find out about her being a bed hog, too. Because I can tell you right now, I can always tell a woman who take up the bed. Let me just tell you something, man. Being with a partner is not easy for women either. I know men think it's hard for us. Sometimes women want the bed to themselves. One nation, one station. This is the Michael Baisden Show. Maria, a lot of women won't admit this. You can't sleep with everybody. And you can love someone and not be able to live with them. And this is what a lot of women find out, that love doesn't conquer all those compatibility issues. Maria also says she wants to be able to dress the way she wants. And some men, I'm not going to even say a lot of men, I don't want to stereotype guys. Some guys are insecure. And a lot of women are sick of dealing with insecurity, so they just want to enjoy living their life on their terms. Maria, what do you say to all that?
I say to all of that I'm a very sexy beautiful black African American woman. I'm shaped very well. I have big breasts. So when and a beautiful face. When I step out, I'm stepping out with God first in front, and then myself. And if there's not someone that's coming with the realness and the reality of knowing that a real woman is in front of them, then I'd rather be alone. Yeah. I can't enjoy myself.
Hold on. We got it. Dominique, you know where she's coming from.
Well, I mean, I feel like she just wants everything to be on her own terms, and I'm not mad at that. You know, she's saying, look, I have my stuff together, and I'm presenting myself in a certain way, but it's still godly, and I'm holding out for what I want.
And she's confident. She said, I'm confident. I want to be my whole self. Go ahead, George, real quick, and throw it back to Maria.
No, I just think that she's on point, and these people are happily single because they know that it'll be treacherous, compromising what she's built as an individual, trying to compromise that for somebody and for a relationship who's not ready for it.
Go ahead, Maria. What do you say?
I'll say you got that right. I'm not compromising.
That's right.
I want what I want, and eventually the Most High God is going to send me that if I'm patiently waiting and believing in Him solely first. Hey, I know He's got someone He's chosen for me. If not, I'm sold up for the kingdom, brother. I'd rather take it on home to the kingdom.
Well, if you built up the way you say you built up, you won't be waiting long, girl, let me tell you. Sabrina, talk to me. What do you say about being happily single?
I am happy and I am single. I love being able to go home with my doggie, not having to answer to anybody. When I want to go out, I go out. When I want to go out, I do answer to the dog. He's better than a man. I'm a dog.
What do you really love about it, Sabrina? If you really had to talk about being happily single and had nothing to do with a man, just about your happiness, break that down for me.
I love me. I love to go home and do what I want to do. I love to visit my parents. I love to go out when I want to and not have to answer to a man.
Yep.
I love spending time with myself. And I'm cute.
Well.
It's easier to stay cute when you're single because you have more time for yourself. Do you agree,
Sabrina?
Check you out. How about that?
That's true, Dominique.
Why you had to throw
I don't have to cook for anybody.
Yeah. Why you have to throw in the fact that you're cute? Why do you have to let that be known? What's up with that?
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, well, good point, Dominique. Wow. Never mind. Great point.
And the attitudes are better a lot of times because you've gotten sleep. You're doing what you want to do. You feel good about yourself.
Yeah. Hold on. We're gonna get this woman's profile and post it all over Michael Bay.
Kemosabe. Why you keep saying we?
Many women have said that they've confined themselves to the idea that they may be single for the rest of their lives, and they're okay with that. Miles, real quick before we go to Linda.
Just a quick question, because everybody's happily single. Are they currently looking, though? I mean, they get dressed, they look sexy, they go out. Are you currently looking? Are you attracting? What do you say to that, Linda?
Yeah.
Wow. That's a good one.
Good question.
Go ahead, Linda.
I'm dating somebody, but I'm not getting serious.
Yeah, but, that's a good question, Miles, and I'll throw this back to you, Linda. I think you can be happily single and still be dating. But the whole idea is that you're happy regardless if it turns into a relationship or not. Go ahead, Linda. Talk to me about what's on your mind. Go ahead.
Well, I was in a marriage for 23 years and, high school sweetheart. And we had a son, and when he was 21, I decided to be happy instead of, a lot of times when you're with men, it almost feels like you have two kids because they need to be taken care of. So I decided it was time to live my life. My mom passed away. My dad passed away, and it opened my eyes.
It's all about her now. What do you love about being happily single? Knock that out the park for me before we get into this next song.
I love not having to answer to anybody. I love to just be able to do what I want to do when I want to do it and not worry about going home and cleaning up after somebody or getting them dinner or I had all that, and it was okay at the time, but now it's time for me to enjoy myself.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's what we're talking about, being happily single. It's not about what everybody else did. It's not about what happened. It's about you being happy with you. Happily Single on The Michael Baisden Show. Ennis is on the phone line. He was like, Ennis, what'd you say about Ennis?
That's a name to get made fun of, man. That's a rough life ahead of you with that name.
That's not true.
Or
That's
behind
not
you.
true,
One of the
Ennis.
two.
What's up, Ennis? How you doing?
Distinguished thing.
It is distinguished.
What's going on, people?
Oh, yeah.
Hi, Ennis.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, man, I'm just recent single dad, 4-year-old daughter, insurance agent, and real estate broker, man. I realize even my family's really from the Caribbean. Just like they treat our women, our parents want to see us married, and they egg us on.
Yep.
Matter of fact, if my mom listened right now, she'll probably snap my neck knowing that I'm on here talking about being single and enjoying it. Number one, let me tell you the benefits of being single. I got a daughter. I take care of my daughter 24/7. I love doing it. I have no issues of women telling me where you at, who you with, and where's my daughter at. I control all of that thanks to God for giving me my daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't find no issues dating at all. I mean, I put on my suit, I go out and eat, and I enjoy myself. Now, when a woman approaches me, hey, why aren't you married? You got a 4-year-old daughter. I can take care of her. She needs a mom, but yet and still, her dad is so important in her life right now. We can't put all this pressure on our women. My daughter plays with Legos and everything else the boy plays with. Like I tell my parents, my daughter's a rose, but she has thorns.
What's the happiest part about being single for you, Ennis?
The happiest part about being single is being able to, go and move as I please, to travel the world, see everything else, and being able to not have to fall back and like, I got to make this call. I'm a dead man by the time I reach that house matters the most to me.
Wow.
Not being controlled, because nowadays you find a lot of women that want that control. Oprah and Oprah changed the game up. They want control.
Did you go there, Ennis? Did you go there, Ennis? Not the control.
Go. He breaking up. He breaking up. Thanks for calling.
Thank you for calling, Ennis. He was troubled, Miles. You were right about Ennis.
Told you.
It's all about being happily single, something I want to make sure we talk about throughout the show today. And this is a very good point. It was in my notes, but Dominique brought it back up again. And listen to what she's asking. Go ahead, Nick. Break it down.
I just wonder if some people are built to be single. They're just not marriage material, and they'd be better off being single.
Yes. Break it down. I mean, go into that a little bit.
Well, I just think that you got to know yourself, right? So if you're not a person that wants to be accountable to somebody else all the time, or you have trouble with routines, a day in, day out, accountability, or maybe you just are autonomous. You want to do everything your way all the time. There's nothing wrong with that. People
maybe
call
you're
it selfish.
Insecure. Maybe you're insecure.
But maybe not.
Insecurity is not gonna work in a strong, good relationship.
Well,
Both people have to be solid in who they are. What all the things that we're saying. But a lot of people don't want the pressure because it's a lot that comes with it. There's a lot of sacrifices that people aren't willing to make.
I think, and Dominique, correct me if I'm wrong. I think what Dominique is trying to say is some people are just built for a single life better. I mean, some people don't, they're just better. They're better people free. They're happier people when they have more freedom. And because there's only a couple of classifications of relationships, you got to choose to be in a committed relationship forever, or you got to be single. There's no in between. So you find people trying to struggle, trying to be one or the other. And maybe their truth is in the middle. Miles, you wanted to say something.
One of my uncles, he's never been married. I've never seen him in a relationship, but he already said he has a problem with sex. He's too promiscuous for a relationship, and he admits it.
He
just wants to get around. That's it. And nobody really can control that. Neither can he. So
go ahead,
some
Nick.
people
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Nick. You had something you wanted to
No, I was just going to say that's the good thing about knowing yourself, because he doesn't have to be in a marriage lying to a woman, creeping and cheating. And that's why I respect Michael, too, because you're like, I'm telling you, this is the deal. Take it or leave it.
That's right. I don't walk into relationships promising monogamy. I think that's ridiculous for most men to do if they know they're not monogamous. Why do it? Be single if you're not willing to be accountable. Be single if you're not willing to be monogamous, and be single if you cannot communicate who you are and have a person adapt to your lifestyle. You all to be compatible with each other based on the truth. Stay single. Thanks, family, for listening to the Michael Baisden Show podcast, sponsored by VideoPitch.com. Go to VideoPitch.com now and be a part of our growing community of writers, video producers, and filmmakers, and get paid to share your business, opinion, and talent with the world. That's VideoPitch.com. Write it down, family. Write it down. VideoPitch.com.